Rocket, oh my gosh, I don't think he could stand 5 minutes in the room with Rocket. That's what I really want to see. I want to see Rocket and Doctor Strange in a room together. They would make each other crazy.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
What makes Benedict Cumberbatch the perfect guy to play Doctor Strange?
Well, you know, it's a tall order, this movie, for an actor. You know, I needed an actor who was really smart and educated, who I would believe is a neurosurgeon, who has enough depth of feeling as an actor to play all the trauma and tragedy and anger and fear and then humility and enlightenment that Stephen Strange goes through. And I needed an action star, you know, somebody who I thought could do the physical things that the character is required to do. There are very few actors that could do all of that, you know, and then part of it's just intuitive and instinctive, you know. I felt like he was the guy. He felt like Doctor Strange to me. I know the comics well, and it just had to be him.
With a movie like Doctor Strange, I imagine you can go visually like everywhere. It leaves you so much place for creativity.
Yeah.
And it must have been a lot of fun to play with the whole concepts and dimensions.
It was, you know, it was actually harder than you would think to come up with those ideas because, you know, the first wave, you come up with some interesting things, but then other things are not good enough. And we were pushing ourselves for 2 years to become more and more inventive and more original and more visceral and creative. And it is a real joy to see it all finally come together. But building those kinds of sequences is so tedious because you've got to plan out every texture, every detail of every single shot before you shoot material for it. You know, and it doesn't become fully realized until you're finished making all the visual effects, and those visual effects take a lot of time, and I give a lot of notes on those as well. So it's very rewarding when it's all done, but it was a lot of work.
I guess we'll come to the point where Steven is going to meet the other Avengers. How could a first meeting with them look like?
Oh, that's up to the Russos. That's their problem now. All I know is that you know, Doctor Strange is not one to be intimidated by anyone. So I think it will be interesting. You know, it'll be compelling to watch him encounter all these big egos. You know, because they all, you know, Thor and Tony Stark and Rocket, I mean, they're all egomaniacs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think there's someone he would get along with very well, or maybe someone he wouldn't get along with at all?
I think he'd get along well with Cap, you know? I think that, because I think Strange is not ego-driven the way he was. I think he, you know, I love the way that at the end, you know, of the movie, the spoiler, can I say this? Is a spoiler? I probably shouldn't on camera. But he's still broken, you know. He's still a broken person, and he's been humbled in the movie. And I love the fact that that's who he is. But at the same time, he's just not going to be intimidated by people. So somebody like Captain America, I think he would appreciate Cap's moral code and desire to do what's right. I think he would respect Captain America. That's my feeling.
That's a great answer.
And I think Groot would irritate the hell out of him. and Rocket, oh my gosh, I don't think he could stand 5 minutes in the room with Rocket. That's what I really want to see. I want to see Rocket and Doctor Strange in a room together. They would make each other crazy.